morning, YouTube. My name's Emery, and I'm the farmer on this channel. And today is June 30th. I believe that's right. June 30th sounds right. It's 4th of July week, so happy Independence Week, or day, coming up. And update on where we're sitting right now. Cotton is all up. Feel good about the cotton stand. Fields are mostly clean. I've got one field that's some grass I can't kill, but we're sitting good at this point, and we got some rain last night. I'm going to check that right now. I don't really know. I know Dad got an 1.7 inch and 7/10 at his house. I know I got an inch 2 at my house. That is further north than any of the farms, and so I think it's at least that or more, which I'm not really sure what that's going to look like on some spots that hold water. I'm hoping and thinking it came down slow enough, maybe where it soaked in mostly and didn't break into the field again, which would be not as much fun, and or holding water. So we're going to find that out pretty soon. But it's been a really good start to the growing season. We've had warm weather, but not excessively hot, and so this could be a timely rain. We traditionally do get a rain around the 4th of July. We always joke there's a big rodeo here locally, the Texas Cavalry Reunion. It's the world's largest amateur rodeo, and longest running, I believe. So, but we just always joke, like, you go to the rodeo, it's going to rain. It's always muddy there. And so that's the kind of the time we're at. We have some more chances still this week, so I don't know what that all looks like, but you're going to find out with me live what the fields look like. All right, first farm is here at Old Glory. First farm I planted. I got a good stand here. It's not perfect. It's good, and I may be a little more negative on it. It's just hard over here. And just talking with Dad, he's like, yeah, it's just kind of what it is. May have gotten out here a day early. Where there's some thin stands I was digging the other day, and it didn't crust on the top. It was below that. It was just too wet, and so it may have been some gooey mud where the seed was, because there was still moisture down there, which is unusual. I was able to dig with my knife. The seed was sitting in moisture. It was up like this, but the stems gets that thick neck on it where it's trying to push through, and it can't push that push it up through the wasn't the crust, it was the kind of just baked around it. And so where it's thin that's the problem, but it's a good stand. I think we'll be okay here. This not really standing water. We'll see how much it rained. Oh wow, 2.6. How about that? You know, that's not too bad, really, considering this field it drains really good. The only my issue with this farm, one, the stand. I wish it was perfect. Nothing's perfect, but I'm having just grass issues. I was just curious if it had any damage to it. I don't think so. Those leaves look all right. So on a cotton plant, the first leaves that come up are actually the cotyledons. They're the seed, basically. They're not actually leaves, and so this is starting to put on, like right here, that's the cotyledon, and there's the cotyledon down there. So it's starting to put on its own leaves. So this is for sure 2 true leaves, and it's starting to put on a 3rd and a 4th. So that's kind of the earliest cotton that I've got. It might have gotten a little bit of wind, some sand blasting from the storm last night, but not bad at all. So, but yeah, the issue I'm having is the grass. I'll go down there and I'll show you kind of just not dying very good. I sprayed the wheat ground over there, and it got seems like a pretty good kill. There maybe not as good as I think on some of that. There's a green cast, but I don't know. We just have a hard time killing grass this time of year. So it's, I don't know if you can see it very good from the road, but it is kind of dead, kind of green. I sprayed this on Wednesday and today is Tuesday, so it should be dead at this point. So the cotton looks good, but it didn't crisp up that grass as much as I'd hoped. So I'll be back. I'll also be cultivating all this ground, and that's kind of my other line of defense is to get over this with the cultivator and to plow up a lot of that grass that's in the blanks. I won't get it, if it's in the row, I won't get it, but I'll get a lot of it by plowing. So I think that's part of the program that seems to really help. So I'll keep doing that. I was talking to another farmer. He's having same issues, kind of asking him what he's doing to combat this stuff. But there's no great answer. We don't have a perfect solution to any of it. We just keep trying to stay after it. The rain is great. It's going to keep bringing weeds up. So I guess the hope is that we make more cotton than we do weeds. And then at some point the cotton will canopy over and shade some of that out, hopefully, right? But at least thankful that chemicals are plenty expensive, but it's not near as expensive as it was when I first started, when things were after COVID and supply chain stuff was going crazy. But you can just see it's kind of brown with just some tinges of some green in that grass, and this rain will perk it back up. But I'll be back over here and I'll hit it again and try to slow it down. Once that cotton gets a little more size, you can't cultivate that cotton when it's too little, otherwise the sweeps will throw some dirt on that cotton, and so we'll let it get a little bit bigger, let's set those roots a little bit deeper and get through here and clean it up. Next gauge I can get to here around Sagerton. I know it rained more over here, or at least more than some places, but 2.3. Okay. With a bug. So this is the second earliest field I planted. It looks really good. I'm pleased with the weed control here. Better, just different grasses, but there's still some of the stuff that I sprayed here on the edge. Not getting a full kill. It's just what we deal with. We've got weeds are growing. We've got moisture, so that's when you're supposed to spray them, when they're little, when they're actively growing. They should die. Just we got problems with controlling grass, especially. So what I say, 2.3 here. That water should dry up as long as we don't get a lake, more rain, a bunch of rain on top of it. But I'm a little bit nervous about what Grandma's farm is going to look like in those terraces, because that cotton that I had to not replant but spot in because it was too wet is my youngest cotton. It's out of the ground, but it's going to be I don't want to get run over here. It's going to be the littlest, so it's going to have the hardest time handling standing water. So we'll see what happens there. Today's, like I said, June 30th. It's too late to spot and replant. I don't know. I haven't hooked the planter. That's part of it, but we'll see. We'll see about that. Here at my grandma's house, just right at 2 inches. So, see if I can see any water. It's just right through there. There's a little, looks like just a little bit I can see from here. So maybe we're safe on the flooded out cotton. All right, next thing I'm going to do while I'm here is I need to get the GPS data off of the 2 tractors, GPS monitors with a flash drive, so I can get my planting dates and total acres I know the acres for the farms. Oh, this is real soft. I didn't expect this wheat stubble to be as soft as it is. Huh. Must be from all this silt that ran through here. So good thing I brought my mud shoes. But I need the accurate date for certifying the acres with FSA, which is government. We have to certify our crops, say when we planted it, how many acres, all that good stuff. And so I need that information. And then also I just try to keep track of all passes I make on the computer. I still use Apex. It's old school software. I think John Deere Op Center is the new thing. I don't have any tractors that communicate. So I don't know, you tell me if you guys use Op Center or something like it to get your track lines organized, things like that. We use Apex, or I use Apex. So tell me how to use the other, or why it's better, or if there's a reason to change to it. So I just need to put a flash drive in here, and then just turn the battery on. And then it should pop up about transferring all data. Surprised that didn't work. Maybe it's not formatted correctly. I couldn't remember which of these flash drives I use. There we go. That's the profile. All right. So, just got to do that on both tractors, and then I'm on to the next. That's it. It says data transfer complete, which means the transfer of the data is finished. In case you're wondering, I accept it, and I'm good. Do not click erase data. To the next tractor. Keep you on this just to keep the sun off of those. Here we go, through the mud. Real soft. Firmer here where there is no, I guess that silt to that caught that wheat caught that silt. My tractor got washed off from that fun rain deal. Oh, spider. Away from me, spider. Maybe I avoided him, kind of. But I am going to bring mud into this tractor. If I leave those right there. Okay, one more time. Okay, if you look up there, you see a little bit of those water spots, hopefully. Cotton was really strong here. I'm really pleased with that. That stuff's little. I don't know what's gonna It's not that much water, so I think it's gonna, if we don't get any more, sun comes out, hopefully that'll dry out and that cotton will be okay. If it gets more rain on it, who knows, but it looks like I can kind of see rows through some of that water, so I think we're going to be okay so far. But really, I'm pleased with with the cotton stand really everywhere. I'm being negative on Old Glory, but when you know it can look like this, that's the stinker of it. But also, I do believe it was a slower rain because the ditches aren't full of water, and I mowed the ditches. Don't those look good? The ditches are not full of water, and so that would lead me to think that it didn't run. It soaked in better than it ran. There's a little bit of water in this ditch over here, but I think we're in good shape for now. Here's the cotton around my parents' house. This would be a day or so after that big stuff there. That's cotton from cleaning off the strippers, volunteer cotton. So 1.7 is what Dad said he had here at his house. You can tell just a little bit younger cotton here, but a little bit of water standing in those terrace bottoms, but the cotton's poking up taller, so I think should be good there. This field doesn't really hold a ton of water. It runs water because it's on the hill, and it all washes down the gullies. So and then that's my next project, is spraying all the wheat ground, which would now become fallow ground. I went to the barn. I was at the barn getting that data off the tractor. I had some chemical delivered yesterday, and I didn't get a chance to go put it in the barn. I really didn't know how much it was going to rain. I didn't think as much as we got. Dad saw something that said like 20% chance of like 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch, and like a 10% chance of 1 to 2 inches. That's a big difference. So they didn't really know what to expect. So it was more on the 1 to 2 to 3 inches so far. But so they had that delivered, and I went to move it in. I had some case material in boxes, and they were just trashed. So carried in the jugs, got the tote of Roundup in, and so I'm ready for spraying the wheat ground. I'm gonna try. I was talking to my buddy Samuel he works for Helena, and just talking to him about residual to put on fallow ground. You know, I normally would spray a residual over the wheat in the springtime, but because the wind, that's got like a 12 to 14 month replant window for cotton. It works pretty decent for us to keep broadleafs down, especially the volunteer cotton and careless weeds, pigweeds. But it was so dry at that point that I didn't spray, and then all of a sudden it started raining, and I didn't know if that would do any good sitting in the soil, so I just decided not to spray, and then it was too late. So I don't have any residual control in the fallow ground, and so I was asking about an option for that. So he suggested this stuff called Valor. So we're may give it a shot. It's fairly inexpensive, and hopefully it'll give me some control through the winter. And if it works, I could come back in the spring, because the cotton replant interval was short, like 60 days. So got that in, maybe spraying that over the fallow ground, but do not want to spray that over the cotton because it will kill the cotton. Anyways, enough of that. Next rain gauge I can get to you. This is our farm, Ephesians 3:20. Look it up. Oh, almost 1.2. Again, I'm telling the numbers. I can tell what I want. 1.2. I figured it would be less as you go east. So this cotton, younger for sure, but looks good. All right, last gauge I can get to. This is at Graceland. I am thankful and blessed that most all of my farms are off of paved highways, or pretty close to, so I can put rain gauges at a lot of them. Isn't that strange? 1.5. Oh, that's not pushed down all the way, is it? Okay. 1.2. Okay, that jives. So, furthest west gauge had 2.6, and then we had 2 point something, and then 2 at the barn, 1.7, 1.2, 1.2. So it was expected. I think the 1.2 here came over the night because the clouds I was watching during the day were not coming. They were all hitting west near Sagerton, so I think that's where it got that extra almost an inch everywhere. So, man, I'm super blessed and thankful for this rain, which is what we got to get. You know, hopefully we can catch a couple of these showers throughout the summer. Like I said, today's June 30th. The cotton's up and growing. This should take care of us for a little bit, and if we can just catch a rain late July, catch a rain in July, later in July and in August. Cotton doesn't need much. We just haven't had that little much that we needed. So keep following along. Hopefully, which I know what you're going to see is I'm going to do a lot of spraying, because as it rains, so do the weeds come. And then cultivating cotton. And then odds and ends stuff. Got to get my turn rows shaped up from all the water that's rushed out. So probably blading those and then come back with a disc to smooth those out. And then it's just kind of weed control through the summer. I'd like to try to get my strip tilling done in the fall. I've just not been ready or able to do that in the past years, working on my cotton stripper, things like that. So I've got some small projects like that in the works. Need to do some maintenance on both the big tractors. Need some just different kind of oil changes, and service intervals are up, new antifreeze, all that stuff. So, and there's lots of variety, you know, and you get to listen to me, which I know is probably some of your favorite parts, you know. And so I appreciate you following along. If you are watching, thank you. If you're not watching, well, I guess you're not going to hear this anyways, but please watch, subscribe, tell your friends, and if you like this stuff, subscribe, stick around. I'm proud to show off what I do in farming and be an advocate for agriculture, especially in this small part of West Central Texas that I don't know if it gets forgotten, but sometimes it feels like we're kind of the between South Texas and the Lubbock area and the plains, because we're the last people to plant cotton. We're kind of the last of everything, and so, you know, we're still down here trying to make a crop, trying to make a living. So keep watching. I appreciate it. And if you're going to farm it.